you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. In Season 2 of Hacks and Hobbies, we're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life who want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around.
In this episode, we get to speak with Keli Salem. I met her through the Anchor community. She's going to tell all about what she's up to. Hey, Keli, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us, what's happening in the world of Keli?
Well, I just started my brand new blog. I actually got my domain yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been working on setting that up and getting it to look the way that I want. And I even posted my very first post.
Congratulations. It's always exciting when you get your first blog post out there, you know?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I was very nervous hitting that publish button. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And, you hear a lot.
Yes.
Like the best way to get started on anything is to just get started.
Yes.
Don't, continuously wait. Oh, I'm going to do this when I get ready for that. And I'm going to just do it. So I did.
Nice. You know, what's funny is that every time I do a recording of, or even start a new podcast recording on the Anchor app, Anchor will remind me like the next day, hey, hit publish on that podcast you just recorded.
Yep. I have one right now and it keeps telling me to publish it. I'm like, no, it's not ready to publish. Thank you.
And I'm super excited about the new sponsorship they've added to Anchor.
Yes, I jumped on that. That is so cool.
Yeah, so I just got to record the Flipboard one today. Mm-hmm. And I've got to record the one for Anchor, and I'm going to enable both of them.
Yes.
The one thing that I got to go do is most of my podcasts that are uploaded are single files, but I think on the web and on the app, you can tap on an audio file and do a split on it. And then
yes,
you just insert the ad right in the middle.
That is right. And, the one with Flipboard, I've actually been using Flipboard for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
And I love it. So when I got the invitation for that, I was like, oh, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, I've been using Flipboard since it was born.
Yes.
It was one of the first app, right, that did the kind of thing that it did. And we were so into Google Reader and all that stuff. And
yeah,
Flipboard was like, they flipped everything on everyone.
Oh, yeah. Well, you remember when iPod Touch first came out and it was really popular, I got one. And that was one of the very first apps that I had on the iPod Touch.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was way back in the day when smartphones were still kind of
getting around.
Like a brand new novelty. Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I showed my boss. I mean, I was really excited back then. And to get an invitation to do an ad for it, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So now I've got to do the going around and to all my episodes.
All right.
And breaking them up, putting the sponsorship in the middle.
Yep.
Because I think what they'll do is they'll just alternate between the two, because I think Anchor is the first one and then Flipboard, and then they'll flip in the two because you don't get to pick which one you're putting.
Right. You get to decide whether or not it has the ad on there, and you get to decide where it's located. Right. You just don't get to pick which one,
exactly.
Which is fine.
Yeah, which is so fine.
It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's a really great opportunity for creators like us that we didn't have before. I mean, sure, you can contact companies, but to have the company come to you and say, hey, will you do this for me? That's really a special thing.
It is. And super exciting.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you mentioned was you liked woodworking.
I do.
No, I have a huge passion for woodworking also.
Oh, that's exciting.
In fact, last year or earlier this year, I was watching so many videos of woodworking that I was like, oh my God, I want to do all of this. And I don't have all the tools that they talk about, right? But
yeah,
I'm so into woodworking. I built my first, a thing out of wood and metal. It's a bike support system for rollers.
Oh, cool.
So you basically have these rollers and you put your bike on it, and then you're supposed to basically start riding and balance on top of it. But starting out, you need either support of a door or, being in the middle of a door.
Yeah.
Or you build these support rails. So I built these support rails, and it was so exciting.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm very excited. We're going to start refinishing furniture.
Mm-hmm.
But one of our goals is going to be making those Arandac chairs.
Okay. I have no idea what those are.
They're those really cool, like, you see them at beachy restaurants, like beachy themed restaurants. And but I've seen them. You can make them where they're foldable so they don't take up so much space.
Yeah.
And then I'm also an artist, so I'm going to paint, like scenes on either the front or the back, depending on what people want.
Yeah.
And I'm a little excited for that. I have a neighbor that has a huge set of them sitting on their porch, like all the colors of the rainbow. And every single time I drive by, I go, I'm going to make that.
Got it. So
it's cool.
I just looked it up online, and they're called Arandac. I couldn't spell it.
Yeah, Arandac.
And I was like, oh, this is, I got it. I get it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. They're very hard to spell, but
yeah. No, what's cool is my good buddy out of Colorado, I got to visit his garage, and he's got all the woodworking tools that you can imagine. He's got
that's so cool.
A lathe, he's got wooden lathe, he's got a metal lathe. He had a shed with all the metal equipment, and his garage, I think it was like a 2-car garage or 3-car garage, all wood gear. I mean,
oh, that's so cool.
All sorts of things. And I'm like, dude, you should totally be making videos and posting them and creating awesome stuff. And he has a lot of material. I mean, he's showing me all the bowls that he made.
Oh, cool.
And stuff. And I was like, dude, this is awesome.
I would love to have some handmade wooden bowls. I'm also a photographer, so
yeah,
that would be really great photography props, to make out of wood.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
That is absolutely part of the dream, though, is I don't want to just make furniture or refinish furniture. I want to make props for photography for other photographers as well. And all the ideas are in my head. So now I just need to get them out.
Get them out on there. Yeah. Get them out on
the wood.
Yes. And another cool woodworking thing that I've been looking at to get is like a laser cutter. Because I think there's some CNC tools, so they can do carving, and they can also do like laser printing. I mean, all sorts of things. And I'm like, dude.
Oh, wow.
I don't have enough space.
I want to get a wood burning tool.
Wood burning.
Have you seen those? Yeah. And I've seen where people, and I haven't used one since I was probably, 10, 11.
Yeah.
But I've seen now where people are drawing huge like scenes out of just the wood. And I would like to try my hand at that. Give it a little try.
A friend of mine, he's a lot into woodworking, and he has access to this makerspace, and he's able to make all sorts of things. He made a little stand for like headphone stand. He made some fidget spinners with wood using a laser cutter, and he's even drawing the type of things that you said. But he was showing me where he's got a little stencil, and he's basically putting gunpowder and then lighting the gunpowder, and as the gunpowder burns out, it leaves a print on the wood of the stylus.
That's really cool.
So I was like, whoa, dude, that's awesome. And he's like all over Instagram, and I'm like, dude, that's cool. And so he's into those like things, working those things with his hands and stuff.
People are so creative nowadays. It's really crazy.
Yes. And the technology and the tools that we have available, it's even, it's even fancier. Like, and because I'm into woodworking and creating things, I see these ads on Facebook about woodworking, and there's
Yeah.
really cool tool. I think it's called the Pantogram or something. And I don't know if you've seen it, but
I don't know if I've seen that.
you can put these stencils on one side, and you're basically just tracing that stencil, and that stencil then carves it into the wood, the types of joints that you want to make or the types of cuts you want to do. It's like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like dovetail cuts and different types of cuts. I'm like, dude, that's just so cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm going to have to look that up.
That's the thing, right? There's so many tools available out there. And
yeah,
like, dude, if I just keep looking at these tools, when am I going to actually do it myself?
Right. There's so many tools, but there's so many techniques as well.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So in my previous house, we just had a regular basement, and it was like a room, and I always wanted a workbench, but I was like, all right, we're renting this place, can't really build a workbench in this area. So we'll just wait. So when we moved to our new house, there was a workshop in the basement. Oh, cool. It's got like 3 benches, one in the middle, 2 on each side. Got a nice big shelf for all the tools, for all your, screws and whatnot. And on the other wall, you have a pegboard. Oh yeah. With all the hooks. So recently or earlier this year, I went and bought a ton of hooks to hang all my tools. So now I've got a nice workspace that I can work in, and he left a lot of wood. Nice. He left a bunch of tools. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool.
I love pegboards.
Yes.
They are so handy.
Super handy, super configurable and customizable. Mm-hmm. I'm like, and so before I went and started putting stuff on there, I was looking on Google and Google Images, and I'm like, all right, show me pegboards, show me tool arrangements. How are people doing this? And people have their tools, and they're like, once they hang the tool there, they're like drawing on the pegboard. So when you remove the tool, you know where to put it back. Yeah, I like that. I haven't done that yet, but
people are so creative.
They are. It's amazing. And I was like, okay. And that was one of the reasons I started the podcast, was like, I want to be able to document all the things that I'm learning, all the things that I love, and what better way to document. Sure, I've been doing blogs for a while. Mm-hmm. They're great, but you got to sit down and you got to write stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes you can't really get point across in writing that you can using your voice.
Exactly. And with the podcasting, what I can do is I can start talking about something, and now I have something to start with, and I can now take that text and, modify it and get that going the way I want it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking about when I started all of this is, you can start it on one platform and then continue the conversation.
Yes. So what I've done is there's an app called Otter.ai, mm-hmm. and it will take your audio and it will convert it into text.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And you can have multiple people talking, and once you tell them that, this person is me, this person is this person, and it'll actually accurately break down the conversation between the 2 people or 3 people, however many people you have on there.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's really cool. And they've got a mobile app, so you can actually start using it on your phone, recording audio. And if you're in a meeting, you can record audio in there, and it'll convert it into text.
Wow.
And it's really cool. Really, really awesome.
That is really cool. I like that. I'm telling you.
Technology, man, it's moving so fast. And you probably heard of the app called Headliner. A lot of podcasters are using it. Mm-hmm. To, have a video with their text on top.
Yep.
Kind of similar, but this is all focused on audio and text. So what I've done is like my 12-minute conversation ends up to being 1,500 words that I can then just drop it in a blog post. And I've got a blog post, I've got a podcast, and multiple mediums. So,
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool.
of course. Yeah, so it helps with the automation of content creation in multiple platforms. And when you mentioned that you just started a blog, so what platform are you using to do your blog?
I actually joined, I think it's through Google, Blogspot, Blogger.
Okay.
I joined them a long time ago and I was just using them for free,
Yeah.
And then, like I said yesterday, I got my domain finally. So right now I'm going to stick with what I know
Keep it simple.
and stay with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool process. It's a lot of fun. I think I might actually say that working on all of this is very much a hobby for me now.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I have fun and I get to let my creativity out in ways I never thought I could.
Yes. When I'm not able to write a blog post or do a audio recording or edit my blog post or whatever, it just freaks me out. I start getting anxiety because
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not doing anything. I have all these things that I want to do and I'm not. I just get stressed out. But whenever I get to work on a podcast or work on a video or work on a blog post, then I feel like, okay, I have contained the beast.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of creatives feel that way too.
And it's welcoming to know that other people feel that way. I thought I was weird.
Oh, no, not weird at all.
Because I know, and I'm not sure how my wife handles it because she says she's not creative, but she is quite creative in cooking food and the different things that she does. But I want to like edit my podcast when I'm relaxing, and sometimes I just sit down, and sometimes I'm just too tired to. I'm just gonna sit down and watch TV because that's another creative outlet where you're learning from others.
Exactly. Yeah. I like to watch Netflix a lot.
Yes.
And the really cool thing about that is, you can go in, you can find what you're in the mood to watch. And I usually end up watching something where people are making something. It's
nice.
or, like interior design, anything creative I'm drawn to it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not on purpose.
No, it's not. What's really funny about what you're saying about creative or interior design is my wife's been saying that we need to bring in as a listener to this podcast, I appreciate you guys. And I've talked so many times about the platform that I use, and that's Anchor. Anchor makes it so much easier for me to publish my podcast to several different platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and so many more. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. I absolutely love Anchor, and I use to record my podcast, Hacks and Hobbies, that you're listening to right now. I love the ease of use of the Anchor app and the way that I can publish the podcast. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Interior designer.
Oh, yeah.
Because since we moved to the house, we've just put things in places that we think, okay, this is going to work here. But then she's saying, I want to bring in an interior designer. So there's some order to the things in the house. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
That's not a bad idea. But then now you're mentioning that there's an actual TV show about interior design.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, why not?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love those shows. Sometimes it's, house hunting shows, and they end up doing some interior design on that.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is my best friend.
Oh, yeah.
I learn everything just from watching YouTube videos.
Same here.
And I mean, everything, every outlet that you could possibly look for, it's on there.
Oh my God. You're so right. Because, every minute there's 300 hours of video being uploaded on YouTube.
Wow.
Every minute.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's some status from some time ago. So I don't know what it is what they're at now, because
oh wow,
there's a ton of video being uploaded on YouTube.
Who would have thought that YouTube and podcasting and all of these things would be what they are now?
Yeah.
It's
we didn't.
It's really amazing.
We didn't think of it because, see, one thing that Seth Godin mentions was newspapers were created because advertisers needed a place to place ads.
Yeah.
Television was created for the same reason, and so was radio. And what's funny is that some of the ads on television came from the radio world, where all they did is they took the same audio from the radio ad and they just showed the image of that product. And that was the TV ad.
Exactly.
But internet is the first medium that was not created for the advertisers.
Right.
That's why there's so much freedom, there's so much openness in it, and it's just it's all your imagination.
It's yeah.
And what's one of the coolest things on YouTube, like we mentioned, right? 300 hours of video every minute, and you'll find like anything you can imagine. Just search on YouTube, there will be a video about it. Like
exactly.
the one time I ended up on this channel called Ants Canada. So this channel, Ants Canada, ants, like the insect ant.
Like the bugs?
Yes, the bugs. So Ants Canada is a channel that has videos of ant farms in their home.
Oh, wow.
And this guy's talking about ant farms. And this guy's talking about the colonies and what's happening. And these are not short videos. These are like 15, 20-minute long videos.
Mm-hmm.
And guess how many subscribers this channel has?
Oh my, how many?
650,000.
Wow. About ants in Canada.
All about ants. Not just in Canada. I mean.
Oh, it's all about ants. Okay. That's really cool. Actually, I was watching the news yesterday, since you bring up ants, and the news broadcasted that they have found out if an ant is sick, it will stay away from the colony.
Wow.
So they infected these ants with, I think it was a fungus or something, and the ants somehow know that they're sick and they know to stay away from the colony, because if they go, all the other ants will catch it.
Oh my God.
The queen could possibly get sick and die, because this is fatal to them. And they figured out ants know when they're sick and to stay away.
That's amazing.
It's really amazing. I was in shock when I heard it.
So let me give you another shock. So remember I told you it was 650,000?
Mm-hmm.
Probably 8 months ago when I watched this video, watched or been on their channel, their subscriber rate number is at 2.4 million.
Holy wow. That's crazy.
2.4 million. And so here's the title of one of the videos. My fire ants are planning an escape. This video was published 2 years ago with 32 million views.
That's very clever.
Right? And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Like this video posted 5 days ago has 487,000 views.
Wow.
Holy smokes. So this is just ants. So think about anything, right? I mean,
yeah, anything you could possibly think of. I mean, there are channels that are very popular and it's nothing but people talking about nothing.
Yes. Exactly. And I'm just amazed, right? So
I had a hole in my sock today.
Yeah.
500 million views.
Yes.
What?
I'm going to look that up. Hole in my sock. There's a song about hole in the sock. And this is hilarious. There's a song called Hole in My Sock.
Oh my.
500 views. There's a hole in my sock. 7.2 thousand views 7 months ago.
Wow. I just said that out of the blue too.
I know, right?
It was on there.
Anything you think about, like even if how silly you think it is,
yeah,
there's going to be something that people are talking about.
Oh man, it's so crazy. It's
So, you know what this validates is that no matter what it is you are passionate about, there's people in your tribe out there that you can find and talk to about.
exactly. I mean, no matter what it is that you want to learn,
Yes.
no matter what you want to know,
Yes.
we live in a world where you can just simply pick up your phone or your computer, go to the library, anything, and you can find out.
Yes, exactly. And the reason for our blogs is that, so we can connect with people that share our passion for hobbies,
Exactly.
to share our passion for the different life hacks and the different things that we love to do.
Exactly.
So, Kelly, tell me, what is your podcast about?
Well, my podcast is a lifestyle podcast, as well as my blog. It all goes together.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really life and love and family and everything in between.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of losing weight myself. I had a back injury a couple of years ago, meaning I'm still not allowed to exercise.
Yeah.
I just went to the doctor recently and he still said, no,
No exercise for you yet.
you can walk, but do not try anything. You'll mess your back up again. So I thought, well, you know what? Why don't I share that journey with everybody else? Like, I am not allowed by the doctor to fully exercise. So what can I do? So I'm going to share my journey with everybody because
Nice.
I know there's a lot of people out there who want to lose weight and they're all joining these gimmicks and schemes. And,
Yes.
I mean, how is it possible to lose the weight without spending all this money for all these other things?
Right.
And do it in a way that's healthy. So I've been talking with my doctor, and I'm going to be posting some stuff here pretty soon. Some ideas that he's given me that I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to actually try these things.
Nice.
And then I'm going to report back, my results. Now, obviously, everybody should go to the doctor themselves because everybody's health is different. I mean, really, it's all, healthier eating. I drink a lot of soda, so, cutting that down.
Drinking more water.
But, I have kids.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have kids. I homeschool one. So really, it's just life.
It is.
And I'm going to share it.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Because there are people that find, they find hope in that, hey, someone else is going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Yeah.
And they're my hero because now I can follow in their footsteps and, get down to it.
Exactly.
Funny thing you noticed, right? You mentioned how you're trying to lose weight. And I ran into some article online where this couple, they were excessively overweight. And they were like, all right, we're going to lose weight. After getting married, they were not losing weight. They were still gaining weight. But then they finally made a decision. And now they run a whole group. I mean, they managed to lose all of their weight. And now I think they had a Facebook group or something where they're helping other people lose weight and became a story of motivation for other people to follow. So, yeah.
I actually follow a couple like that on Instagram, and it might very well be the same couple.
Oh, really?
She posted a picture of her recently in the dress that he proposed to her in. And I mean, you could have fit 3 of her in that dress.
Okay. So, yes, we are talking about the same.
Okay. She just had surgery to help with the excess skin because it was causing a lot of pain.
Oh.
And I'm so proud of her because she worked so hard. Her and him both, they both worked so hard and they've done it together.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
Oh, yes. And she posts something motivational every single day and I read every single one.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, people like that help us to see that, hey, everything is possible.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is. And I need to get back on my bike because last year I rode a lot. I did 1,500 miles of riding.
Wow.
This year, I've only been able to ride 67 miles. So I've made a decision that, it's winter is here and I got to start my training up so I can get back into shape and start riding because I didn't ride my bike a lot this year, I've been having different types of health issues, like I'm having gout pain in my feet, eating, not eating very healthy either.
Right.
I mean, I try to limit a lot of things, but again, it's hard work, very hard.
And this is the perfect time of year now to start making goals and starting to work on them.
Yes.
That's another thing I've been talking about on my podcast is goals and gratitude. And, I feel like this is the perfect time of year. Don't wait until the new year.
It is, yeah.
Because usually you fall off the wagon, so to speak, and you don't follow through. But if you start them now,
yes,
you're more than likely to keep up with it.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really into goals. I have a lot of goals, and I've already been able to check a bunch of them off.
That's awesome.
That's one of my favorite things is, the goals.
Yes. So my goal is to actually publish a podcast or episode or two today.
Oh, wow.
I've got a few podcast interviews that I've recorded in the past couple of months that I still haven't been able to publish. But and that all comes down to being a parent, right? You
right.
You only have so many hours. You gotta focus on the family, focus on their homework, make sure they're going to sleep on time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard work.
Yeah, it really is. But you can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you so much. So what's the name of your podcast so my listeners can go check out your podcast and be more motivated?
It's called Lifestyle with Keli.
Lifestyle with Keli.
And you can also go to lifestylewithkeli.com.
Awesome.
And I will have a link on there. There's actually already a link on there, so you can click it and you can reach all of my links.
Perfect. Yes, I will include the links to the podcast and your website.
Thank you.
On this episode, so people can go check it out.
I'm just so excited to be able to share this.
This is awesome. I am excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming on to the podcast. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Talking to other people that share your passion is like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're inside my head. Get out. Get out.
Yeah, you get to bring so many people together from all over. And it's like, wow, really?
Yeah. So one book recommendation that I would have for you is Crushing It by Gary V.
I will check it out.
Gary Vaynerchuk. And he is one of my inspirations to doing what he's doing with his life and with his company and with social media, and he's got it all down, and looks like you're following that same path without knowing him.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I will definitely check that out.
Awesome, Keli. Thanks so much for talking.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the episode. Thanks so much for listening to our guest on this episode. Please send me an email at junaid@hacksandhobbies.com to tell me what you loved about our guest today. You could find links mentioned in this episode on the hacksandhobbies.com website.